This is the story of two very similar communities in Peru. They are both located in the rural areas of the Apurimac region. They live from the local harvest and their mother tongue is Quechua. They are called Nueva Esperanza and Yupapuquio, and they are situated less than an hour apart. They also share a long history of poverty. But there is a difference between these communities. The big difference is how well their children are growing. There are major differences in height between the children of Yupapuquio and Nueva Esperanza. In Nueva Esperanza, the children are growing normally. In Yupapuquio, their growth is lagging, just as it is for tens of thousands of children all over Peru. According to the global standards for normal growth, any child under 80 centimeters tall on their second birthday is suffering from chronic malnutrition. Neither race nor ethnic origin has anything to do with a child's growth potential at this age. 8 of every 10 children in Yupapuquio suffer from chronic malnutrition. 8 years ago, the same was the case in Nueva Esperanza. But today, the situation is transformed, and chronic malnutrition affects only 2 of every 10 children. As you can see, chronic malnutrition can be prevented. In just 8 years, this community has achieved something that Peru as a whole hasn't been able to achieve. They have reduced malnutrition to a quarter of the previous level, destroying the myth which doomed generation of Peru's poor rural children to suffer the lifelong consequences of chronic malnutrition.
Mis últimos hijitos son más despiertos. Son más hábiles, en cambio los demás no, casi no pueden en el estudio también, ¿no? Un poquito quedados son. Un beso, un beso. ¡Ah, su machilla! De sus hijos anteriores es el más despierto. Normal bien peso pitalla, está normal en peso y en talla.
Children who grow well are healthier and more capable. They are more social and learn faster.
Cada centímetro, cada gramo es muy importante en los primeros 2 años de vida del niño, porque allí desarrolla con mayor velocidad el cerebro.
If your children are short and don't grow normally in their first 2 years, they are probably malnourished. Chronic malnutrition means children's growth is too slow. Poor growth also reduces a child's physical abilities and emotional development. It is very dangerous because it damages the child's health and affects the growth of the brain and the development of intelligence.
No, mira bien, ¿qué es? Oh. A ver. No. No. A ver. Oh. No.
In the long run, a malnourished child is more at risk from chronic illnesses, is likely to become a less productive adult with a lower income, and is more likely to live in poverty. Unfortunately, once a child is 2 years old, the damage caused by malnutrition is irreversible. That is why reducing malnutrition is essential to reducing poverty in Peru. Nueva Esperanza's success in reducing malnutrition is thanks to the regular monitoring and counseling of pregnant women and children under 2 at the health center. A health center should provide parents with all the information they need to ensure that their children grow properly. Parents in Nueva Esperanza have understood that it is vital to make the effort to go to the health center. They monitor their children's growth from early pregnancy and especially after they reach 6 months of age, when exclusive breastfeeding should end and complementary feeding begins.
Su talla no ha ganado en este mes lo que debería ganar. ¿Ya Matilde? Por eso que en el desayuno que tú le has dado solo juguito, has tenido que darle pancito, otra cosita más o un huevito. ¿Ya Matilde? Él tiene 1 año 9 meses. Debería estar con 81.9. Ha ganado solo 3 milésimas. Si tú le captas a la madre desde su embarazo de las 14 semanas, llega al nacimiento, ya ese niño vas monitorizando mensual. Puede ser que su padre sea analfabeto, pero si tú trabajas con ese niño se logra que no es genético ni que va a ser burrito, va a ser chatito, chiquito, no. Lo contrario, va a ser uno más como cualquier limeño, cualquier otra ciudad.
For a child to grow properly, they need to grow about 24 centimeters in the first year and about 12 centimeters in the second year. If you know how your child is growing, you can help prevent chronic malnutrition. That's what's happening with the children of Nueva Esperanza. They are growing just fine. Soledad, for example, grew 24 centimeters in her first year and is still growing fine. Giselle also grew 24 centimeters in her first year and then another 11 centimeters in her second year. Braya has grown really well. He grew 25 centimeters in his first year and 11 centimeters more his second. Geraldine grew 23 centimeters in her first year, and by her second birthday, she had grown another 11 centimeters. These children are healthy, happy, energetic, and smart.
Se dibujar casas, se dibujar arbolitos, pastos, chacras, cerros, soles, se dibujan nubes también se dibujar.
In Yupapucio, however, most of the children are malnourished and their growth is not normal. Alfredo only grew 17 centimeters in his first year and a bare 5 centimeters his second year. Cynthia grew only 16 centimeters in her first year and just 9 centimeters in her second year. And Yoni only grew 19 centimeters in her first year and 8 centimeters in her second. All of them fell well below the norms for expected growth of around 24 centimeters in the first year and 12 centimeters in the second year. The same happens all over Peru, where 1 of every 4 children under 5 suffers from chronic malnutrition and, as a result, will face health and learning problems for the rest of their lives.
Tiene el peso bajo para su edad,
la talla también es bajo para su edad. O sea, es una desnutrición crónica reagudizada, como se dice.
Para ella, la talla de su hija es una talla buena, normal, aceptable.
Está bien.
¿No le parece muy chiquita?
Está creciendo ya.
Unfortunately, the parents of children who aren't growing properly often don't realize it, and that's a big part of the problem.
La señora Manuela tiene 3 niños y los 3 niños tienen una desnutrición crónica.
¿Ella es consciente de lo que significa que tenga 3 niños y los 3 no estén bien?
Mana ya changuichui,
No sabe.
no sabe.
Chiquititos, 4 años.
¿Y en la posta qué te han dicho? ¿Está creciendo bien?
Dice que no ha dicho nada.
¿En la posta no te han dicho si está bien o está mal?
De repente se ha dicho, lo han olvidado.
If parents aren't aware of the problem, it will be impossible to fix it. In this community, less than half of the children under 2 years of age go to the health center for their monthly weigh and height checkup. In contrast, in Nueva Esperanza, 80% of the children under 2 go to the health center for their monthly checkup. Mothers are counseled and know how their children are growing. This has made all the difference.
Mensual, puntual, tengo que llevar, dejando mis quehaceres, tengo que llevar siempre a posta de salud. Porque más a mis hijos mayores, no sé cómo he tenido, pero ella es más atenta, más despierta es ella. Y me interesa saber si está subiendo o está bajando su peso. Y me alegra cuando me dice que está subiendo, me alegra bastante.
Nosotros exigimos a las mamás a que traigan sus tarjetas. Entonces nosotros simplemente copiamos acá con cuánto de talla, con cuánto de peso.
Nació.
Entonces nació. La Soledad es ella y ahorita tiene 1 año y 2 meses. La flecha verde indica que está bien, va para arriba, está creciendo. Este es el mes de enero, creció bien. Este mes de febrero también está creciendo, ¿no? Ya de esa manera vamos a combatir la desnutrición.
Monitoring your child's height during the first 2 years of life is the best way of knowing if they are growing well or if they are malnourished. Remember, your baby should grow around 24 centimeters in the first year, and by the time they are 2, they should grow another 12 centimeters. That way, the baby is likely to reach the 80 centimeters established by doctors as the minimum height for a healthy 2-year-old child. If your child isn't growing properly, you have the right to demand support and counseling from your community's health center. Nueva Esperanza is a good example that shows that chronic malnutrition can be prevented in rural and underprivileged areas of Peru.
2 kilos. Quiero ser doctora.
¿Quiere ser doctora? O sea, ¿ya estás segura que quiere ser doctora?
Sí, por eso mi abuelita es viejita y yo le curo.
Yo veo en ella, el producto está en ella. Yo veo, y entonces igualito a las mamitas, nosotros le damos consejerías así para que sus niñas o niños que estén así, o mejores que ella tenga. Y ahí está pues el resultado. Muy feliz estamos, feliz.
Ahí está, mi mamá llegó. Acá como huevito. Pero esos niños, cuando vamos a ser viejitos, nos van a querer bastante. Ellos se han sacrificado por nosotros para que hemos crecido mejor, para estar sanos, para poder pensar. De repente, ¿no? De acá a 10 años, 20 años, tenemos la seguridad de que van a ser, estos niños van a ser padres seguros, profesionales seguros, ¿no?
Every centimeter counts during your child's first 2 years of life. Understanding the importance of growing well and knowing how to achieve it has helped these children to develop their abilities to the fullest. which will help them be productive adults and have better chances in life. How about you? Do you know how your children are growing? Go to your checkups regularly, starting from the time you get pregnant, and make sure you give birth in a health center. Take your child to the height and weight checkup every month, and make sure if you know if he or she is growing properly or is at risk of being malnourished. Exclusively breastfeed your baby until he or she is 6 months old. After the 6th month, make sure your child gets the complementary food he or she needs. You have the right to get advice at your health center on your child's growth, how to feed your child, using products from your area, and how to promote good hygiene habits to prevent disease. You also have the right to get proper medical care for your child's illnesses. Remember, to avoid chronic malnutrition, a child needs to grow around 24 centimeters in the first year and 12 centimeters in the second year. Your health center will tell you if your child is growing properly and what you need to do to make it happen.